This news update is brought to you by...
You got an upgrade for Christmas.
If you're feeling lucky, you could win some money.
An upgrade for Christmas.
$200,000 in cash and prizes. With Lime, you could win some money. It's Lime's Christmas Lottery. 250 winners this Christmas, oh yeah.
Sign up or upgrade to super fast broadband, Lime TV, e-billing, a data plan. Top up $15. Purchase a handset or text 4263 to enter.
Upgrade for Christmas.
It's Wednesday, January the 7th, 2015, and this is the Barbados Today Morning News Update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Government is assuring Barbadians there's no crisis in the Unemployment Benefits Fund, even though it has admitted that higher than desirable joblessness has put it under financial pressure. A day after reports surfaced that the fund was in serious trouble, Minister of Finance Chris Sinclair told Barbados Today that the government and the National Insurance Board, NIB, have agreed a temporary and mid-term solution to ease the payment pressures of the fund and are executing that plan. While Sinclair did not give details, sources close to the NIB told Barbados Today that the government plans to inject $12 million over the next year to aid the fund, which has reached as low as $6 million to $7 million. Additionally, the National Insurance Scheme has reached agreement with the Barbados Employers Confederation that money from the Severance Fund will be diverted to the Unemployment Benefits Fund. However, that first would require parliamentary approval. He added that the financial pressures on the fund were neither new nor insurmountable. The Barbados Union of Teachers says further action was likely to be taken if government officials failed to respond to 3 new deadlines to appoint temporary teachers and address problems at the Alma, Paris and Parkinson secondary schools. Following an almost 3-hour meeting at Solidarity House attended by an estimated 1,500 teachers, the BUT did not say exactly what course of action it would take if the demands were not met within the 2-week and 6-week timelines.
We have given the Personnel Administration Division 6 weeks to complete the appointment of all temporary teachers in Barbados. All temporary teachers. We are also going to write to the Personnel Administration Division asking for the complement of teachers to be increased from the present 2,564 established positions to 3,000. We want an increase of 436 because the system needs them. The system cannot function without these persons. We have asked the Ministry of Education, Science, Innovation and Technology to give us some indication within the next 2 weeks as to the status of the current investigation being conducted into the Parkinson Secondary School, and 2 weeks to give us some indication as well as to what the plan of action which is being instituted at the Alma Paris Secondary School would bring.
Police are continuing investigations into a shooting incident at Checker Hall, St. Lucie yesterday, which left a man nursing injuries to his left leg. 40-year-old Lavere Brooms was shot around 12:15 p.m. while in his neighborhood. He received treatment at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Police Public Relations Officer, Acting Assistant Superintendent David Welch says that up to last night, no one had been arrested for the shooting. Meanwhile, 25-year-old Leon Garfield Lawrence of Block 10D Bonnets Housing Area, St. Michael, is now behind bars after being charged in connection with a shooting on Old Year's Day. Lawrence, who was wanted by police along with 4 others earlier this week, was charged with causing serious bodily harm to Marlon Brathwaite with intent to maim, disfigure or disable him. Lawrence is also charged with the illegal use of a firearm. He will reappear in court on February the 3rd. Brathwaite, who was shot several times about his body, is still warded in serious condition at the QEH. In other news, renowned international music composer Andrew Lloyd Webber signals he is willing to begin a fund awarding Barbadians who contribute significantly to the restoration and preservation of national buildings. Baron Lloyd Webber made his desire known at the launch of the National Restoration Program for Barbados' Built Heritage, for which he and Governor General Sir Elliot Belgrave are patrons. The avid art collector revealed that he had financed similar projects in the United Kingdom and described it as a lucrative venture.
It seems to me that a similar idea could be done here. And I would very much like to throw bread on the water and say that my art foundation would be very happy to fund it. And what would be wonderful is if in a location that people on the islands, because this is what gets people going, the people on the island who are themselves doing something for a historic building are recognised. I don't know how it could be done here, because of course it's a different environment to where we are in Britain. But I'd like to share my passion by offering my help if anybody feels that would be appropriate.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Catch the sun power.
Return now to the regional scene. A major blow to Dominica's banana industry as a UK-based Winfresh stops buying fruit from the island. The fruit importer and distributor is not happy with the quality of fruit being shipped from Roseau. According to President of the National Fair Trade Organization, Charles Watty, Winfresh is particularly worried that Dominica is not properly managing the black sigatoka leaf spot disease, which affects banana plants. Watty says the disease has resulted in the uneven ripening of fruits, and as a result, some farmers are now only shipping 2 pallets of bananas. He says they are working with Winfresh to resolve the problem. In more Caribbean news, the retirement age for the receipt of full national insurance pensions in St. Lucia is now 65 years. The new age requirement came into effect on January the 1st this year. NIC officials say it is part of a long-term plan to ensure the corporation is on a solid footing and able to pay out pensions for decades to come.
NIC Communications Manager Augustin Louis says the incremental increase over the past decade was in a bid to ensure the sustainability of the NIC and its ability to meet its payments to its pensioners.
It all came about as a result of an actuarial review we had some time ago, when it was discovered by the actuary that if we had to continue along the path that we were going, paying a pension at 60 years and with a minimum pension of 40% of the person's average insurable earnings and so on, this NIC would have fallen into difficulties. It would mean that by the year 2030, NIC would have to be selling its assets to meet its pension expenditure. So that we found was an unhealthy situation.
Retirement pensions can be paid as early as age 60 once all other qualifying conditions are met. According to Augustin, however, applicants should note that there will be a reduction factor applied to all such pensions.
On the global front, the first of 72 healthy volunteers have already received the initial dose of a drug which researchers hope could put an end to the worst Ebola outbreak in the history. Janssen Pharmaceuticals company, owned by Johnson & Johnson, is developing the vaccine together with Bavarian Nordic. The company says it can begin large-scale trials by May and make 2 million vaccinations available later this year. The drug does not contain the virus, so there is no risk of catching Ebola as a result of immunization. And that's our Barbados Today morning news update. We will be back again this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune in to Channel 101 on Lime TV to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.
This news update is brought to you by
I won for me, to me,
For me.
You don't need speakers, right?
Upgrade to win every week with Lime. Sign up for Lime TV or broadband or purchase an iPhone 6 or Samsung Note 4. Upgrade Christmas with Lime.